one race. It was in Ostrava right at the beginning of the season, and El Garouge looked very good in that race, which was run at a similar pace to this. He wanted to run something in the low 1240s, and it was only in the latter stages where he looked tired and was beaten by Stephen Chirono, as he then was. So is Bekele maybe taking a leap out of Chirono's book, thinking, let's make it hard, let's take the sting out of him. But you know what, it's not so easy when you have to do that all by yourself. And Bekele is a confident runner on the country. He front runs in, he runs away from the pack, and he's trying to do the same thing here. But that was the slowest lap of this 5,000 metre final so far, 64.1.
Well, he looked over his shoulder there. Bekele looking for a bit of support. It hasn't been coming from his teammates. They look as though they're out of the race. But there are 4 Kenyans in that chasing group and 1 Moroccan. The first 6 athletes, Ethiopia, Kenya, Morocco, 3 more Kenyans, and they can be dangerous too. But as he sees the 5-lap scorer Hisham El Garouge through 3,000 meters in 7 minutes and 45 seconds, his confidence must be growing. And on the outside now, for the first time, we have a new leader. It's Kipchoge, the young junior champion from Kenya.
Well, Bekele moved out to let him through, I think, and hadn't realised that Kipchoge was wanting to come around the outside. Now, these two are part of the same camp, share the same manager, so I'm sure that this was thought out beforehand. And Kipchoge trying to pick up the pace because Bekele was starting to falter, but El Garouge is still there. Another 64 laps, 64.61. Richard Lemo still close by. John Kibone is still close by. Chibi looking as though he's working the hardest of the Kenyans, that's for sure. There's John Kibone wearing 8:06 behind El Garouge. Lemo's behind him, and then Chibi, whose head's just beginning to rock a little bit. He looked not so fit in Zurich. Chibi, who earlier on in the season looked as though he possessed the sort of finish that could outdo Bekele. In fact, he managed to do that on one occasion. So, a new leader, 4 laps to go. Kipchoge, Bekele, El Garouge, Lemo, or Kibone, then Lemo, then Chibi, Gebri Mariam bringing up the back, and Tedessi of Eritrea also in the group.
Well, the amazing thing there, Steve, the first 5 runners in this race are all world champions in their own right. You've got the junior champion, you've got the 10,000 metre champion, you've got El Garouge, the 1,500 metre champion, and then you've got the 2 cross-country champions behind them. So what an amazing lineup in this event. And El Garouge is getting an easy ride, but there goes the effort now. There goes the 10,000 metre champion, now 3,600 metres behind him. He comes into the finishing straight. They look ahead, and now the confrontation is laid out there. How fast is this going to be? 3 laps to go, just over 3 laps to go. This is the territory which Hisham El Garouge owns. He said, I've reigned in my own kingdom of 1,500 metres. I now want to have a go at the 5,000 metres. And he's got to be feeling more comfortable now at this point than he has at any point in the race.
3 laps to go, and it's slowing down quite dramatically. And I know there are people around who thought that El Garouge might not leave it till the last 200, because Bekele does possess great pace. Said that El Garouge might just pick it up if the pace hasn't been that good. Well, it's been hard early on, and now they're just messing it around a little bit. They're changing the pace, and of course that sometimes doesn't help if you're not used to that in 5,000 metre running. But El Garouge looks very, very comfortable as Kipchoge comes to the front once more. Bekele follows him. El Garouge behind in 3rd place, checks over his shoulder. He'll find Gebri Mariam there. Richard Lemo's there, John Kibone and Chibi, and then Tedessi. Those are the runners still in this final into the last 1,000 metres.
Into the last 1,000 metres, and the last 4 laps have been extremely slow. 64, 64, 64, 65, and now the 1,500 metre champion lays it down. He comes down the home straight. He sees the scorer. 2 laps to go in the men's 5,000 metre championship of the world. Hisham El Garouge, the 1,500 metre champion, leads from Bekele, the 10,000 metre champion. And the confrontation and the race we look for is now being dominated by the Moroccan.
I'm a little surprised, but this is what we thought might happen. Hisham El Garouge with a phalanx of African distance running talent behind him. Takes a little glance over his shoulder. They're still there. That's a 60 lap. He picked it up. He's trying to make it a long run for home. He's got behind him Bekele. He's got Chibi, who's just taken closer order. He's got Kipchoge. He's got Lemo, and he's got Kibone.
and into the home straight. 500 metres to go, and a classic race here between the 1500 metre man and the 10,000 metre man. Who is the fastest? Does the 10,000 metre champion have the sprint finish, or does the Moroccan world record holder at 1500 metres? And off he goes. The race, the pursuit, the intention is laid down by Hicham El Guerrouj. Not since 1924 has anyone done the double at 1500 metres and 5,000 metres. Is it going to be repeated again today?
It's a long run for home. Hicham El Guerrouj attempting to take them on. Kipchoge can't go with it. Bekele trying to get back there. Kipchoge also trying to give chase, but Hicham El Guerrouj of Morocco trying to take this 5,000 metre title. Kipchoge, the world junior record holder, still there. Bekele, the 10,000 metre gold medalist, still there. John Kipchoge trying to get onto them. El Guerrouj has run his race, or has he? Has he got anything left? El Guerrouj trying to get there. Kipchoge, the junior's there. El Guerrouj is trying to get to the line. Kenya wins it. Kipchoge takes the gold medal. El Guerrouj the silver. Did he come, Brendan?
400 metres to go, and Hicham El Guerrouj, the world record holder for the mile, the world record holder for the 1500 metres, is being followed by the young junior, the world junior cross-country champion. And in third place, Kenenisa Bekele, the 10,000 metre champion, who before this point has run quite a strange race from my perspective. And down the back straight, Hicham El Guerrouj is running like he does when he runs the mile or 1500. He's in full flow now. He knows he's got a race in his legs, but he's got a winning lead there into the straight. And suddenly, El Guerrouj begins to tire. Bekele begins to lift his pace. Kipchoge, the junior, and now anyone can win this one. Will it be El Guerrouj? Will it be the junior? Or will it be the 10,000 metre champion? Kipchoge of Kenya, the man with a famous name, now runs away, the winner of a famous confrontation. The 1500 metre champion couldn't make it. Well done to Kipchoge of Kenya. The 10,000 metre champion couldn't make it. And there they are. The 1500 metre man on the inside, the 10,000 metre man on the outside, and the junior from Kenya, the man whose previous title at the World Cross Country was the main one he's ever won. And here he is, the world junior record holder for 5,000 metres, becomes the world champion in a race I'm sure we'll see the finish of that race played many, many times. El Guerrouj contributed to the race. Bekele contributed to the race, but 8:07